Today, dinosaurs are recognized as an incredibly diverse group of animals, displaying a wide range of remarkable behaviors. Yet most people still struggle to imagine them in situations like swimming, and instead continue to see them as strictly land-based creatures. While this view is largely accurate, since all dinosaurs, with the exception of the avian lineage, were primarily land dwellers, could some dinosaurs have occasionally ventured into water or even adopted semi-aquatic lifestyles? After 200 years of studying dinosaurs, we have learned a great deal about their appearance and behavior from the fossil record. However, determining whether dinosaurs were capable of swimming is challenging because swimming itself does not leave direct fossil evidence. It's also important to note that, although many dinosaur fossils have been found in river sediments, there is no evidence suggesting that these animals were actually swimming at the time of their death or that they drowned due to an inability to swim. Interestingly, those familiar with the history of paleontology might recall the now outdated depictions of sauropods wading through deep rivers. It may sound crazy, but back when dinosaurs were imagined to be slow, cold-blooded, and stupid, sauropods were thought to spend most of their time in water due to a belief that adults were simply too heavy to walk on land. However, during the dinosaur renaissance of the late 1960s, this view changed dramatically. New scientific insights reinterpreted sauropods as fully terrestrial animals, with their limbs, shoulders, and hip structures fully adapted to support their massive bodies. Does this mean, then, that sauropods, and dinosaurs in general, avoided water entirely? The short answer is no. The Mesozoic climate was significantly warmer than today, with most dinosaurs inhabiting warm, humid environments. It wouldn't be surprising if dinosaurs occasionally cooled off by resting in shallow waters, much like modern elephants or water buffalo do today. At one point, there was even a theory that large dinosaurs sought out bodies of water for reproduction, where the buoyancy would help support their weight, relieving females from the burden of their massive mates. The only evidence of swimming dinosaurs comes from swim traces, score-like marks left by their claws and feet as they disturbed sediment on lake, river, and seabed floors. These trace fossils often begin as regular footprints and gradually turn into scrape marks as the water deepened. A typical feature of dinosaurs, particularly theropods, was their large, robust hind legs. While these limbs were primarily designed for walking and running on land, they were also well-suited for swimming, enabling dinosaurs to traverse large bodies of water and discover new food sources and expand their feeding opportunities. However, the ability to swim was not necessarily limited to theropod dinosaurs. Despite their enormous size, which might suggest they would sink like a rock, many large dinosaurs like sauropods had adaptations that made managing their weight and potentially swimming more feasible. One such adaptation was the presence of pneumatic hollow bones with air sacs, which allowed these dinosaurs to grow to massive sizes while also keeping them relatively lightweight. Therefore, studying the body density of these dinosaurs can provide valuable insights into their swimming capabilities and reveal which species were better adapted to swimming than others. Some dinosaurs may have even evolved to become semi-aquatic, with spinosaurids being the most notable contenders. This group, which includes species like Baryonyx, Suchomimus, and the most famous of all, Spinosaurus, exhibits several traits that suggest they spent considerable time in the water. For instance, they had dense bones, a characteristic often found in aquatic animals to aid in buoyancy control. Their long, narrow skulls with conical teeth also resemble those of modern crocodiles, suggesting they were well adapted for catching fish, possibly making aquatic prey a significant part of their diet. Furthermore, the placement of their nostrils further back on the skull would have allowed them to breathe while keeping most of their head still submerged. Although there is broad agreement among paleontologists that spinosaurids led a semi-aquatic lifestyle, the extent of their adaptation remains a topic of intensive debate. In addition to spinosaurids, a few other non-avian dinosaurs also show skeletal features that hint at a semi-aquatic lifestyle. One such example is Halscaraptor, a duck-like dromaeosaur from Mongolia, discovered in 2017. This dinosaur is believed to have behaved much like modern waterfowl, a behavior previously unknown in dromaeosaurs. In 2022, scientists described yet another Mongolian dromaeosaur from the same family, Nativinator polydontus. Unlike most animals, where the ribs extend from the backbone at roughly 90-degree angles, Nativinator's ribs, like those of modern diving birds such as penguins and cormorants, angled down towards the tail. This rib structure is thought to have helped streamline the animal's body, allowing it to move more efficiently through water. Next, there's Leoningosaurus, a small and strange basal ankylosaurid from early Cretaceous China. Unlike typical ankylosaurs, which were large, herbivorous, and believed to be strictly land-dwelling, Leoningosaurus was found with preserved gut contents, suggesting it may have consumed fish, along with certain features of its skeleton also supporting the idea that this peculiar animal was at least partially aquatic. Last but not least, many prehistoric avian dinosaurs, also known as birds, adapted to fully or semi-aquatic lifestyles, with a prime example being Hesperornis. Measuring up to 2 meters or 6.6 feet in length, this late Cretaceous bird had no wings, a long-toothed beak, and strong paddling legs, a prehistoric equivalent of modern grebes. To address any further skepticism about large animals taking to the water, we can look at today's animal kingdom, where some of the largest land animals, such as elephants, regularly swim, as do modern relatives of dinosaurs, such as ostriches and emus. However, the ability to swim doesn't necessarily make water their home. Some might even say lucky for them, as both prehistoric rivers and seas were inhabited by some of the most fearsome predators the animal kingdom has ever seen, many of which are often even mistakenly identified as dinosaurs. But more about that in this video.